Welcome to our 5 on 5. I'm pleased to be joined today by SOU President Rick Bailey. Good to see you, sir.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for having me.
So, yeah, our pleasure. Obviously, there's a lot going on. Been a busy summer for you guys. I know school's starting here in a couple weeks. Your Board of Trustees will be voting this week on your plan to transform SOU by cutting 15% approximately of your annual budget to become more resilient in the face of financial challenges. Now, we could spend 5 minutes alone on just how we got here, but that's where I want to start. Can you hit us with some bullet points to explain?
Yeah, it's a great question. So let me say a couple things. And when really we have to look at context and what is the landscape of higher education, specifically here in Oregon. I don't want to create villains in the story, so please don't take it that way. There are some harsh realities, though. Oregon ranks 46th out of 50 states in funding for public universities. We're in the bottom 5 now. So that there's a structural problem there that has to change. But I will say, even at SOU, our enrollment isn't what it was 10 years ago. Our retention has kind of stayed about the same. So there are things that we need to do as an institution to really make sure that more students are getting to the graduation stage. To me, it's a perfect storm. We haven't even talked about the federal government and the challenges with the big comprehensive bill and some other things that are creating some uncertainty at the federal level. So what I've said to our campus is these are unprecedented times. I think this is the biggest crisis that SOU has faced in 99 years, and that's not an overreach. And so really, really challenging times call for really bold and brave measures. And so we are really in the process of transforming, as you said, to make ourselves more focused as an institution, more responsive as an institution, and ultimately, as you said, more resilient. We owe that to our community.
It's been about a month since you and the faculty union, your joint financial exigency declaration. But with that, very technical term, but you're able to move a little more swiftly, as I understand it. Talking about eliminating about 13% of your workforce, assuming that percentage is still accurate, how many positions would be impacted?
So it's moving right now. But I will say, let me give you the answer big picture wise. So this is how transformative this is and how challenging the landscape is. 13% of our workforce is going to be in the neighborhood of about 60 positions. But I want to put it in context because you and I spoke at this table a few years ago with SOU Forward, which was another crisis that we had to manage. And that one resulted in 82 positions. And so together, this is about a quarter of our workforce, ultimately, that we're talking about. We are becoming a smaller institution because of the challenges that we face. By the way, I also want your viewers to know that this is not a problem that is unique to SOU. This is higher education across the state, specifically at universities, and then obviously your viewers have seen all of the challenges that have happened nationwide. These are really challenging times for universities.
Yeah, and we just did a story last week about U of O, obviously, one of the big dogs in the state, making 30, 50, I believe, $1 million in cuts. Take a quick break. Much more with President Bailey in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with SOU President Rick Bailey talking about this week's big Board of Trustees vote on this financial exigency plan. You referenced it before, SOU Forward, the realignment back in 2023. Shortly after you arrived at SOU, you had to deal with this, eliminating about 13% of the workforce. You know, I believe you've said, like, you're not happy with this plan.
Right.
Why is that?
Yeah, everything that anytime you take an organization and make it smaller, any of the programs or positions or individuals, anyone affected, I want to make sure that everyone understands this is not a judgment about the quality or caliber of any individual or any program. Everything, and I'm biased, I'm completely biased, but let me say that everything that we do at SOU is fantastic. Like, it is so good, and the caliber and the passion and the knowledge and the beauty of the people who provide the service, they're all outstanding. So anytime you have to make decisions that limit some of the work that you do, well, those are all terrible decisions. So no one should be happy with this plan. And at the same time, we're caretakers of the institution, right? It is my role as the president to make sure that SOU is thriving 50 years from now, 100 years from now. So we need to make sure that we are making the decisions that actually help the institution as a whole not only survive the challenges that we're in, but really put it in a position to thrive long term. And so all of those programming decisions are incredibly difficult.
Yeah, and you referenced it before, the biggest kind of financial challenge in 99 years. I didn't know over 100 years ago, SOU shut down.
We did.
Was it a year and a half?
No, actually it shut down for about 16, 17 years.
Okay.
And this is not a direct call, but it was based on an elimination of state funding. And that's what forced SOU to make that call. So.
Sure. Okay, and so you're meeting with the board this week. You presented them kind of maybe a preliminary plan about a month ago. How has it changed since then, and what do you anticipate you'll hear from the board?
Great question. So this is really a testament to the passion, the knowledge, the care, the love from our campus community. So I've gotten over 1,000 emails, 24 proposals, phone calls, and you name it, not only from members of our own campus community, but from members at large. And we looked at every single one of those messages to the letter. And because of that, we knew that we needed to think about and be open-minded enough to change the plan to make it better. And so we took all of that input and actually used that. The draft that we released on August 1st and what the board will be voting on this Thursday are actually somewhat different. And it's because of all of the inputs. Okay. There will be fewer majors that are eliminated. And that's really because faculty and staff got creative to say, hey, instead of doing this, perhaps you can fuse these two things together and do this. And so it's just a better way of thinking about it. And I will also say, not just to be overly humble, but I'm not the expert on all these things. So the more inputs that we got, it helped make the plan better.
Okay, and just so people understand, I know with school starting just a couple weeks, if that, none of these are impacted like this fall quarter.
Correct.
These are long-term plans.
Yeah, thank you for asking. So for all prospective students, for all future students, for all current students, even the changes that we're making, and if the board approves the plan as it sits right now, for most students, there will almost be they likely won't even know that anything has changed. Okay. For students in programs where those programs are going to be affected, SOU is not losing and not shying away from our commitment to make sure that all of them have a pathway to the graduation stage. So we're still going to be very sensitive to making sure that every student has the care that they need in order to meet their educational goals.
Well, I know how busy this summer has been for you. I know we'll all be watching the board meeting this week. Good to see you. Thank you so much.
You as
Appreciate
well, Craig.
it.
Thanks so much.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.